Good morning. This is John from the Springs Mennonite Church. I'm happy to be with you today. I hope you're having a good day. Hope you're going to have a great one. See, God always wants us to have good days. This notion of I'm having a bad day, that doesn't really fit with God. He always has days full of joy and happiness and gratitude and wonder. And we can do the same thing. I know for many of you that seems impossible or like a dream. But it's not. It's really easy, and there's a simple way to do it. The passage I selected this morning tells us exactly how to live with joy and happiness all the time. It comes from John chapter 13. Here it says in verse 34, Jesus says, "So now I am giving you a new commandment. Love each other, just as I have loved you. You should love each other. Your love for one another will prove to the world that you are my disciples." Well, let's start out by saying most of us don't like being told what to do. Even if we're the boss of our company, we get upset when the government tells us we have to do this or we have to do that, or the banker says you have to do this, or something else comes along. We just don't like being told what to do. And if you remember back to your teenage years, some of us had real problems with being told what to do. We have our own mind. We can figure it out. I have the right to decide for myself. Seems to be ingrained in our culture and into our personalities. Now, I'm not suggesting that you need to become a robot here. I'm not suggesting that you can't have your own thoughts. But I am suggesting that when the God of creation tells us something that we need to do, well, we really ought to listen. I mean, let's face it, God is smarter than you and me. He really does know better. He really does know what he's doing. And a bunch of the times, we're not so sure. But when God says, I have a commandment for you, he's not saying I have a suggestion, though many people treat it like that. I have a commandment. I have something that's really important that you just got to do. And so, with that, we look at the words. Love each other. Just as I have loved you, you should love each other. Now, that word love, in Greek, there are three different Greek words used for the English love. This one is agape, which means a self-sacrificing love, in that God so loved the world that he sacrificed his son. He gave something up as a demonstration, as an example, as the embodiment of that love. When I give up my ice cream to my grandkid, I'm self-sacrificing. I'm not saying I didn't want the ice cream. Maybe there's enough left I can get some, but I'm not saying I didn't want it. I'm saying I choose, instead of keeping it, to give it to you. And that's what the word love means here. Love one another. I choose to give something to you instead of holding it for myself. You see, when we love other people, we allow God to work through us into the world. The other way around, we're just being selfish. I want love. I want love. I want somebody to love me. I want somebody to treat me special. I want somebody to care about me. And with those kinds of attitudes, those folks never, ever, ever get enough love to satisfy them. I know that sounds crazy, but it's true. To someone who demands you give to them, you can give them everything you have and they'll demand more. And then when you've run out of it, they'll throw you away and get someone else because their appetite is insatiable for getting what they want and, and that attention for themselves. Self-sacrificing love is the exact opposite. But the neat thing about this is the more love you give away, the more love God puts in your heart. You can't outgive love. You get so much joy out of watching the other person experience something wonderful. Now, I know that doesn't make sense in this world, but it's still true. Our world cannot understand what that means. You take some of the incredible people in the Bible who gave and gave and gave. You take some of the examples that we have. People who spend their whole lives working to help others. If you ask them, they will tell you they are the happiest people in the world because they gave their love to someone else. Think of Mother Teresa. She gave everything she had to make people who were dying in the streets alone feel like they weren't alone. Nobody's going to reward that with a good salary and a bunch of accolades. Oh, yeah, later on in life, people recognized it. But she didn't care about that. What she cared about was giving to those who were dying alone. You can live your life giving love to others. This passage says that that's how the world knows that you're part of God's kingdom. They'll see that. You'll be so different, people will notice. And that's a good thing. We want people to notice that we love the Lord, because then maybe we can invite them to do the same. So this passage is this commandment is saying, hey, I know times are tough. I know life is difficult. I know things aren't always going your way, but love others anyway. And in doing so, you will change their life and you will change yours. What do you think about that? Thanks for listening. If you have a prayer request or a need, let us know. We'll do anything we can as fast as we can to help meet your need. So until later, God bless you. I'll talk to you again.